When I was researching my first novel, The Basic Eight, I was calling up right-wing religious organizations and political groups in order to make fun of them. I thought to myself, I better not tell her my real name. I'll be on their mailing list forever. So she said, what is your name? So I said, Lemony Snicket. And then there was a pause. I thought, out of all the things you could have said, that was the worst one. No one's going to believe that. And then the woman from the right-wing organization said, is that spelled how it sounds? When I was 5 years old, someone asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I said that I wanted to be an old man who lived on the top of a mountain giving advice. I don't remember it. All I remember is wanting to be a writer. I would read on the bus. I would miss the bus because I was reading. The first book that I bought with my own money was The Blue Aspic by Edward Gorey. In fact, when the first 2 volumes of A Series of Unfortunate Events were ready to be published, I sent them to Edward Gorey with a note saying how much I admired his work and how much I hoped that he would forgive what I'd stolen from him. Shortly after I sent it, he died. So I like to think that I killed him. So much of children's literature is about enforced fun or enforced morality. Surely you will be rewarded if you behave this way, or aren't you having a wonderful time reading about this? And you never are, and it never goes that way. So part of A Series of Unfortunate Events was an acknowledgement of the bewildering state of affair that is childhood.
Do you have a notebook on you right now?
I do. I do have a notebook on me right now. This is my notebook. I think
Hello, happy Halloween. Welcome to Book versus Movie. This is the podcast where we read books that have been adapted into movies, and then we try to decide which we like better, the book or the movie. I am Margo P of coloniabook.com, and my special good friend, guest, co-host this week is Andrea Engstrom. Andrea, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Andrea, and I've known Margo for
30 years?
Well, exactly. Since the 80s or 1990, maybe. Is that when we met? And I am a huge fan of the podcast, and I'm definitely thinking of Margo, the other Margo, during this recording. I love the podcast. I love everything you guys did. I especially loved that last podcast that you guys did that featured all that fantastic research in the book that you did on Saturday Night Fever. So yeah, I'm very happy and excited to be here.
And can you tell the folks a little bit about what you do?
Well, I do lots of things. One of the things that I do is I'm a coach, and I focus on getting people, especially artists and creatives, out of that task paralysis with fun ways to get you started, like sloppy starts and stuff like that. So my site is The Little Habit, LIL. Habit.com. And right now I am not on social media. I am boycotting it for right now. And hopefully,
because you have principles.
Exactly.
But I'm going to just plug here. We're just going to plug it here. Let's see where there it is.
That's it.
That's it right there.
Yes. Yep. And I although Substack does have its own Nazi problem, I am on Substack as well. You can find me there, and I write about the Little Habit method and lots of other stuff.
They're so pesky, aren't they? They're like mildew. They just get in everywhere.
They do. And you gotta, it's that story about, once you have Nazis showing up to your bar, you have a Nazi bar, and people need to kick out the Nazis immediately.
Right.
Don't have a Nazi bar.
So today we started the show with a fun little video of our author today is Daniel Handler, otherwise known as Lemony Snicket, talking about where that name came from, which I think is so hilarious. And the book and movie we're talking about is A Series of Unfortunate Events, which is also, is it on Netflix, that series? I forget.
It is.
We did not look at the series at all, just so you guys know. We also only read the first book. Or did you read more books besides the first book?
Well, I may have. Yeah. Well, so the cool thing is that they sold the first 3 books as a package,
Mhm.
as a little collection, and so I did purchase all 3 books, and the movie is based on all 3 books. So I read the first one and the second one, and did not start the third one
Oh,
yet.
good, because then I'm going to have some questions, having only read the first
Yeah.
one. But let's talk a little bit about Daniel Handler. I don't know if you looked him up at all. He's about our age.
Yep.
He's originally from San Francisco.
Yep.
He's done a lot of things. And when we talk about the film, we'll discuss his kind of relationship to the film. But he's known. This is probably the work he's most known for. Would you say?
Yes, for sure.
And his first book, The Basic 8, that's the one that he was just talking about at the top of the show. That's where he came up with the whole Lemony Snicket thing. But but he was an educator. His father was a Jewish refugee from Germany during the speaking of Nazis.
Speaking
We
of
always come back
Nazis.
to Nazis around here.
Yeah. Yep.
Speaking of Nazis, his father was a refugee from all of that whole scene. And he's married. There's not that much out there about him. He supports Planned Parenthood, which is awesome, and also the Occupy Wall Street movement. So yeah,
Good job, Daniel.
that's our author.
I read, and I don't know if this is 100% true, but I believe that he mentioned in an interview that he thinks that he subconsciously, when he said Lemony Snicket, it was subconsciously channeling Jiminy Cricket.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's funny.
So
As the conscience,
he thinks
being
that
the
might
conscience.
be exactly. He's thinking maybe that's what inspired him.
Okay.
To come up with
That's
Lemony
cool.
Snicket. Yeah.
So I think let's just get right into the book here. First of all, I should have put a still of I'll just have to show you guys the cover.
Yeah.
And if you're listening, it is he mentioned Edward Gorey. It is a very Gorey-esque, the illustrations and the cover, super reminiscent of Edward Gorey.
And I did look up that illustrator name, and it's Brett Hellquist. And I believe that they featured his illustrations also, those that are in the book and stuff, in the end credits of the film. I don't know if you stuck around to watch that. I thought that was gorgeous.
They were beautiful end credits.
Yeah.
They really were.
Yeah, they really were.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's good to know. I did not realize that. So the book, like a lot of these classic children's books, I'm thinking, like Roald Dahl, again, Edward Gorey, every beginning of a chapter has an illustration showing what's going to happen in that chapter. This book in particular reminds me a lot of, what is that Edward Gorey book? The Dwindling Party, I think it's called.
Okay.
And like every page is somebody in this group of people meets their demise in a weird way, right? But we are introduced first of all to the character of Lemony Snicket, who is our narrator, and I'm not sure like what age range this is supposed to be for. I feel like a pretty young kid could read this book. It's pretty accessible.
It is. And, first, I will never not love children's books. Like, I was so excited that we were going this route for the Halloween episode and reading a children's book. And it actually, this one reminded me of, the narrator reminded me and how the telling of the story, basically he's warning people off as you like open the book, like, this is a terrible story. Don't go any further, unless you like depressing, terrible things to happen to children, stop reading now. And that reminded me of my favorite childhood book, which is the one, it's the monster at the end of this book. Do you know that one?
Oh, I have it here somewhere. It's Grover. Yeah.
I just still, even to this day, it's funny because I reading that book, The Monster at the End of This Book. I love that as a kid. I just laughed the whole way through because you do exactly what Grover's saying. Don't continue.
He's like,
And
no.
exactly. And every
You
time you
did
turn the
it.
page, exactly. So this was very reminiscent of that. I thought it's very humorous. The book, and also it's funny because Lemony Snicket, and I just kept thinking the author's very persnickety. It's the very the way that he's telling the story, and he inserts himself throughout the whole
Yes.
book.
Yes.
And throughout the whole series, he's kind of a character himself. The narrator isn't participating in the story as it's happening. He's telling it in retrospective. And apparently the author, the narrator, Lemony Snicket, is a detective that is connected to the family.
Yes, he's somehow investigating these strange events that have
Exactly.
happened. And so he's documenting, it's a chronicle of everything. Yeah.
Exactly. Of the Baudelaire. Baudelaire, orphans.
Baudelaire, of course. And then I love this too, that we're the character, bringing in all these kind of cultural references. I love books that do that for children because I was that sort of a
Yes.
child that I would have come along and been like, oh, what's that? Let me look that up. Baudelaire, it's a poet. Oh, and finding all that stuff out was something that I really loved. I loved when authors did that, or choosing names that are, that Dickensian Roald Dahl thing of choosing names that are indicative of the character's character.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, and we have a lot of that here. Mr. Poe, of course. This is so great.
Yes.
So it opens with these children. First we meet the children, and they're kind of extraordinary kids.
Yes.
But also not. The eldest is Violet. She's 14. She's an inventor. She's very, very clever. She's the MacGyver of the group.
Yes.
And then we have Klaus, and Klaus is a voracious reader. That's like his superpower, which is great to make, to introduce that to children, of reading being a superpower.
Exactly. And part of that superpower is he remembers everything that
he
ever
remembers
read.
what he reads. Yes.
Yeah.
Very important. That part's
very
important.
Yes.
And then we have the youngest is a baby still. She's a toddler who is barely speaking. Her name is Sunny, and her superpower is she bites things.
Yes.
Which is so awesome.
Which comes in handy more often than you think.
More than you would think. Turns out it's really good to have that power. So it opens with and they live in this mansion. They have wealthy parents who,
that's important,
who travel a great deal, and the children are very loved. They feel very secure. Violet has all the scientific equipment that she needs to do her various experiments and making inventions. Klaus has a vast library in the house to explore all on his own. Sunny can bite whatever she wants all over the house.
Right. Yes.
No lead paint in this house. She could just bite away.
Bite
and
anything.
And the parents, we don't quite know what they do, but they travel. They're gone a lot.
Right. Yes.
And so one day the children are at the beach, and we get this beautiful day at the beach, and like describing the beach and in tremendous detail and all this stuff. And then this figure shows up.
I do want to insert that beautiful day at the beach is like foggy. It's like that kind
that's
of
what I would consider a beautiful day at the beach.
Exactly. Me as well. Yes.
We both live in San Diego. And this time of year actually is when the beach is foggy.
Yes.
It is like it is in the book. And it is my favorite time of the year to go to the beach. I go to the beach. I try to get there once a week.
Good job.
During this time of year, because it's so, I love that when it's like this. So to me, when I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, that's the perfect day at the beach.
Totally.
And yes, out of the mist and the fog comes Mr. Poe, who is sort of like their, he's sort of like their business manager, the family's financial advisor, or like the uncle in not the uncle, he's the banker in Auntie Mame figure. He manages the family's financial affairs, and they have a lot of money. And so, when you have a lot of money, you have a relationship with that kind of a person in your
Right.
life. And there he is on the beach, and he's like, children, bad news. There's been a terrible fire. Everything's gone and your parents are dead. And
Right.
in the
Right.
book, unlike in the film, we have this whole fun segment where the children stay with Mr. Poe and his family at
Right.
first.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really, I love that scene. I get why we didn't include it in the movie, but I really liked it because I mean, I'm not going to say every child, many children have had that experience where you, for one reason or another, have to spend the night in the home of a family that is not your own. And they're weird.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
It smells
Weird.
weird.
Yes.
Ugh. And I love the way that he describes that whole, Mr. Poe's wife and his kids. And they're not
Right.
terrible. They're
No.
fine. They're fine, but it's just not your house. And this horrible thing has happened. So, I like that whole segment in the book very much. Eventually, we learn that their next of kin somehow is this Count Olaf. We're not told how. What kind of, is he a blood relative?
Right.
Why is this guy the next of kin? I'm assuming we find out later that there's been some shenanigans.
Well, what's interesting is that can I mention the movie as we talk about the book?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that they said in the movie that I was like, oh, like I didn't catch that in the book. And maybe it's not in the book, but they make the reference when Poe, who's a pretty like oblivious character, like he's missing everything, and that's definitely central part of his character, that he's in charge of placing these kids, and he's just oblivious. And one of the things they said in the movie was as Poe is driving them to Count Olaf's, that the instructions were to place with the closest relative, and so the closest in proximity is Count Olaf, is what they. And so in the back seat, I think Klaus says, I don't think that's what they meant by closest. And I was like, oh, like they, like maybe the parents meant like the closest, next of kin, like the closest,
like your uncle,
in
which is the next
relationship.
one. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Or yes, exactly, in relationship. But Poe interprets it as proximity to the Baudelaire mansion. So I thought that was funny.
Yes, he is quite the clueless character.
Yeah.
He's very fun, and he's like, you come to me for help for anything, anytime,
Right.
and every time they come to him, he's totally useless.
Exactly.
So they place him with Count Olaf right away. Red flags
Yes.
everywhere. His house is creepy. He has a lovely neighbor who's a judge, the lovely lady who's a judge, Justice. What is her name? Justice. Oh, I'm forgetting her name all of a sudden. It'll come up when we talk about the film. But Count Olaf he's an actor, so red flags. And
yes,
his house is decrepit, falling apart. It's like the Psycho house. And then it has, which this reminded me, remember that the interview that Whitney Houston did, was it with Oprah, where she talked about her marriage with Bobby Brown and how like it devolved, and Bobby started painting big eyes all over the bedroom. Was that an Oprah interview?
Was it? Yeah. Interesting. Are you referencing her final interview with Oprah?
Yes.
I was there in the audience for that.
What?
I was. Yeah. I was there for that taping. But anyway.
Is that where she talked about the eyes?
I actually don't remember. I probably
was
just like, so like, like I only remember like 2 moments from the whole thing.
divas. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. But so he was painting eyes everywhere?
Yeah, she was talking. And it's not really making a lot of sense, but she talks about how basically like the low point of many low points. There's a point in their marriage where he um he she says he had painted these big eyes all over their bedroom.
Weird.
Like, weird. And
Yeah.
that's what Count Olaf's house is like. There's these
Yep.
eyes. Everything has this eyeball emblem on it. Like on the back of a dollar, and he even has an eye tattoo on his ankle
Mm-hmm.
that never gets explained, at least not in the first book. I'm assuming at some point, again, all gets revealed gradually over the
Yes.
series.
Right.
But for this whole first book, you never know what is the
Nope.
deal with the eyes, what's going on. So he and Olaf is not like trying to charm anybody. He immediately puts them to work, like cleaning up this awful house, expecting them to
Yes.
cook dinner for him and his friends, like just
Yes.
really unrealistic expectations, and then punishing them when they don't meet those unrealistic expectations. I'm
It's
sure there are a
all
lot of people who grew up with a parent like that. And can relate.
What I loved about it is it's all the terrible things that a child would list as being the worst things ever. I mean,
Yeah.
parents perishing in a fire aside, a long list of chores that you have to do, a never ending list in a disgusting house, and what they have to share a room, and one single bed. So one kid gets the bed, one is the floor, and then Sonny's in a pile of drapes
Mhm.
in their room. Yeah. So it's all and yeah, they at one point, Count Olaf says, he wants them to make them dinner for him and his actor troupe. they
Yeah.
don't know anything about anything like that.
They don't
So
know how to
they have to
cook.
figure it
They don't
out.
have
Yep.
any money. There's no
Yep.
food in the house. So that's another thing that's not in the movie the way that it's in the book. There's this whole segment in the film where they go next door to the judge's house and they borrow some cookbooks, and
Yes.
ask Count Olaf, like, we got money to go buy food if you want us to cook dinner. And they go and they do all the shopping for the first time. And
Yes.
I really
That was
enjoyed all of that.
I did too. And I really loved the character. I just looked it up. Justice Strauss.
Strauss.
And in the movie, she's played by Catherine O'Hara, and who's fantastic. And in the book, you just love this character, Justice
Yeah.
Strauss, and they spend a
Yeah.
lot of time with her, and in the safety of her home, and in the safety of the library in her home. And it's just it's just warm and wonderful, and she's warm and wonderful. And the movie just completely cuts out all of
I
that.
know.
Yeah. They included the drive up where they mistake her beautiful house for the place that they're going to be staying, and they
Yeah.
turn their head and they see that it's this spooky, terrible house with a tower is where they're actually staying. And then I won't get to it yet, but then they use the plot point that Justice Strauss is in. They use that in the movie as well. But they don't, and
They don't have that whole relationship that they
at
have in
all.
the
And
book.
if
Yeah.
and the fact that they cast Catherine O'Hara, it,
Yeah.
and then you get nothing of her. It
Seriously.
was just like
I was
the
so
whole time I was
excited when
like,
I saw her.
right?
Yeah.
I know, me
Because it's
too.
a
I just
great
couldn't
character,
wait.
you guys. In the
It's a
book,
great
it's like
character.
she's just loving, and like you said, she's just like a plate of cookies and a cup of
Yes,
milk and a comfy chair, and she's
exactly.
lovely.
And
But
she's
she's
a
also
judge.
busy
She's
because
a
she's a
justice.
judge. So she's not
Exactly.
there all the time.
Right.
But she tells the children, like, anytime you want to come and use my library, my doors are open to you. And so they have somebody, at least,
Right.
who is
A
friendly,
safe adult.
a
Yeah.
safe adult, and or safe-ish anyway. And
Right.
the dinner is kind of a turning point in the book, in the first book,
Oh, yes.
because
Right.
the dinner is where we meet Count Olaf's theater troupe, so-called theater
Right.
troupe. And it's this,
Right.
wow, it's this real gang of we don't know what anybody's like. What is their roles? Like, are they all actors? Are some
Right.
of them like running the sets? What's
Right.
going on?
Right.
And they're all very sinister.
Yes. Oh,
Just
great word. Yeah.
just everything they say has a sinister edge.
Yes.
And they all kind of look to Count Olaf as their leader. He's definitely the
For
smartest
sure.
of all of them.
He's the
And
star for sure.
he's the star.
Star.
Absolutely,
Yes.
no question. He's the lead in all of their productions, I have no doubt.
Right. Right.
And they are excitedly talking about their latest production that's going to happen. It's called A Marvelous Marriage. And at the dinner is where we start really hearing about the marvelous marriage and this play and how great it's going to be. And oh, we have to have the children have to be cast in the play. And oh, you know what? We need to also get Justice Strauss. She also has to be, authenticity. We need her to play the judge. And we very quickly learn through little dribs and drabs that the plan is that Count Olaf wants to we have this having failed to kill the children because
Oh,
he can't
yes.
touch the
He
money
wants the fortune. He wants the
until
fortune.
Violet is the one who gets the money, and she doesn't get it until she comes of age. Not sure what age that is, but it's not 14.
Right.
And so he tries to kill them at one point, and that is in the movie, and it's great. That's a great scene in the movie. But having failed to kill them, he now has decided that he's going to marry, a la, what's that cat scratch fever guy?
Oh no. Oh no. What, Ted Nugent? Is it
Ted Nugent. He's gonna marry his 14-year-old ward,
Yes.
and therefore get his hands on the
The
fortune, and
money.
also have a wife to cook and clean and do whatever
Ugh.
he wants. I know,
Yeah.
gross.
I actually, yeah, when I was reading the book, I thought that I just was super duper creeped out about that, um, and you know where it's headed. Like it's because that he's very he's of one mind, and it's to get his hands on the fortune. And so
Exactly.
as he's concocting this, the marvelous marriage plot. Klaus is reading a book on like the legalities of nuptials or something
Yeah,
like that.
marriage
And
law.
exactly. And so you know what's coming, that this is, the whole plot is to marry her and stuff. And a couple of things online that I read of people discussing the book and their kids reading the book. And some people were, disclosure here, I was reading Stephen King when I was, I think I started reading Stephen King in elementary school. I don't really love horror now, but I was reading like crazy stuff as a kid. I don't think that's what kids should be reading, but but that's the kind of thing that I couldn't not, I was like, more of this. And so there are parents that were complaining about this plot line specifically.
I think, look, there's similar, it's of a same kind of darkness of certainly anything. Yeah, lots of other things that children are reading, and certainly lots of other classic things that children are reading.
Exactly.
There are many examples of
Grim
that.
fairy tales, for example.
He never talks about like wanting to consummate the marriage.
Right.
It's just about the money.
Right.
So anyway,
And having the slave labor. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the book is not that long, and
No.
they expose during the production, the children expose the plot. Justice Strauss says, "Oh my gosh, I will take the children," but she can't because she's not on the list of, close
relatives.
close
Right?
relatives. So Mr. Poe, who's clueless as always, instead of being like,
Yes.
great, somebody wants the kids, he's like, nope, gotta take them off to the next guardian. And that's where the book ends.
Yes.
So it's very different than how the film tells the story. But it definitely sets up the world.
Yes,
I
for
think
sure.
let's play the trailer
Okay.
of the film at this point. Which one is the trailer, Margo? Sorry, hold on. It's not this one. Is it this one? Is it this one? It's this one. Okay. I am terribly sorry. I think it's nope. Nope. Sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
trying
Well,
here.
I'll talk a little bit while you look for it.
Okay. I got it.
Oh, good. Okay.
Here we go. Oh, what happened?
This is the story of the 3 Baudelaire children. Violet loved to invent. Her brother Klaus loved to read. And their little sister Sunny, she loved to bite. My name is Lemony Snicket, and it is my duty to tell you their tale. No one knows the precise cause of the Baudelaire fire. And just like that, the Baudelaire children became the Baudelaire orphans.
I'm taking you to live with your closest relative. And he's an actor by trade. Isn't that exciting?
Hello, hello, hello. I am your beloved Count Olaf. My dear Violet. All I ask is that you do each and everything that pops into my head while I enjoy the enormous fortune your parents left behind.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I don't speak monkey.
Violet, what are we doing here?
Maybe he just doesn't make a very good first impression.
You're invited to discover
This way, to the reptile room.
a world built by imagination and strung together by a series of unfortunate events. Paramount Pictures and DreamWorks Pictures present Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey.
Then the unthinkable happened.
Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, directed by Brad Silberling.
Now that we're family, I can be the ultimate dad.
We're very concerned.
For some reason, after I saw the trailer, I was not expecting to like this movie. I can't
Same.
tell you why.
Same, 100%.
I was like,
I
I don't
think
know about
I wanted to get to the bottom of why I just never, ever, ever wanted to see the movie. And I thought maybe, and I think this is why. So I think it's because Jim Carrey is a ham, and there's only so much that you can take. And when this film came out, it was 2004. And this was after the 90s. That's in the 90s was all of his big stuff. It was The Mask, it was Ace Ventura, it was all, all the things. Dumb and Dumber. I love Dumb and Dumber. It was all the things. And then into the early aughts, it's The Grinch, it's what else? Let's see. It's all the things. Bruce Almighty, Me, Myself, and Irene, Man on the Moon. Yeah, it's just all these
was a lot.
big, huge. Exactly. And so in 2004, actually, he also did Eternal Sunshine, which I thought he was amazing in.
Oh, I love that movie. That's a great movie.
Yeah. And so this just seemed to me, I think in my mind, this was just another one of those, Jim Carrey, like over the top, hammy movies. And I really honestly never wanted to watch it. And so even when we picked the book, I was like, well, that'll be kind of fun to be able to, I can get into it because I can compare, the book to and I have to tell you, I loved the movie. I just loved it.
I did too. I was really surprised. And I think the trailer does it a real disservice because By the way,
Totally.
Meryl Streep is in this.
Meryl Streep is in this.
Catherine
Yeah.
O'Hara.
Yep.
Timothy Spall. It's a great movie. It was originally Barry Sonnenfeld. That's the director I was trying to think of, who was originally slated to do this film because he'd done the Addams Family. You could see why they were sort of looking at that. And originally, what?
I was going to say, did he executive produce it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
okay.
he did. And our author originally did the screenplay, and they went through all these iterations, but it ended up being Brad Silberling with a screenplay by Robert Gordon. I think they did it. I mean, I haven't read the other books, so I don't really know. But I really like the way that they put the story together, even though it's not the same as it is in the book.
Exactly. It includes the first 3 books, and I pulled it up so that I could read out the Bad Beginning is the one that you read. That's the first one.
Yes.
The second book is The Reptile Room, and the third book is The Wide Window.
Okay.
And so those, I believe that's right. The Wide Window.
Yeah, those are the 2 next guardians that they go to.
Exactly.
The uncle who has the snakes and the aunt who in the film is played by Meryl Streep, who has the big wide window over the sea and the leeches. I loved the art direction. I thought was good.
They got nominated for an Oscar.
Fantastic.
Yep.
The music is good.
They also got nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, the effects are really good. You have a combination of course, kind of computer generated effects, but also good old fashioned, forced perspective stuff that's going on that is giving it a fun feel. Everything, the makeup and Jim Carrey.
He's so good.
He's so good in this, and
He's so good.
The trailer presents it as though he's playing these different roles.
Right.
Which to me, I'm like, I agree with you. It's sort of like, I don't know if that's a lot of Jim Carrey. But
that's a lot of Jim Carrey.
He's playing the same role.
Right.
But trying different disguises. And I love that the children are never falling for his disguises. Not for 1 minute.
Not exactly. They immediately, as soon as they see him, every time they go, Count Olaf. Yeah. I thought, I honestly think that, as I was watching this, I thought this might be, I think, one of his best films. I mean, I just think the control that he has over his instruments, his, the way that he uses the angles of his body, it's just like really like, it just all just like fits in this like kind of like gothic, tale.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah. And also because the character of Olaf is this eccentric, over the top guy, it actually, I feel like he just plays him perfectly,
Definitely.
and almost even a little understated if you want to,
I agree.
Right.
Compared to the book. And I mean, if you can see that this is him in the character in the book.
Yes.
That is him. He's he's getting like all these crazy angles that he does.
Exactly.
And he is very flamboyant and dramatic, as he's ordering the children to fix a roast dinner for the theater troupe and all of that.
I laughed out. There were like small things that he did that I just thought were hilarious because he despises these children, and so when he first meets them and he's introduced to them, he says the blah, 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 children.
Yeah.
It's like, I just thought that was so funny. Blah, blah, blah. And there's just all sorts of like little, little ways that he pokes, but also he's again like trying to like run them over with a train, you know what I mean? But like in that scene, wasn't that scene just great with like it
was done so well.
The colored bottles shaking as he's like in this, I
really love the way the film elaborates on each child's superpower.
Yep.
So you see Violet getting an idea and she's she's building the plane as they're flying it. And
Right.
Meanwhile, Klaus is in he's going into his mind palace and he's pulling the books off the shelf.
Yes.
And Sonny is not just biting things, but Sonny always knows what's up.
Yes.
And eventually it is Sonny the one who ultimately saves them. Really, she's the one who kind of takes matters into her own hands, and multiple times actually. And it just is so well done. The children who play the children are phenomenal. Let's talk about this cast a little bit here. As we said, apart from Jim Carrey, we have Liam Aiken as Klaus. That's the kid who reads all the time. Emily Browning as Violet. Twins, Kara and Shelby as Sonny, the biting child. Jude Law plays Lemony Snicket. That's not Jude Law in the film. That's a character actor that they've gotten, because we only see him in silhouette in the movie. Timothy Spall plays Arthur Poe. Catherine O'Hara as Justice Strauss. Billy Connolly is absolutely spectacular as the uncle. It is the most heartbreaking moment of the film is when, spoiler alert, he dies. Then we've got Meryl Streep, who also dies. And Luis Guzman. Then we've got the characters of the theater troupe. We've got Luis Guzman. Oh my gosh. Jamie Harris,
the troupe. Oh my gosh.
Craig Ferguson is this half man, half woman. We've got Jennifer Coolidge and Jane Addams, who I absolutely love. Cedric the Entertainer is playing one of the police officers who shows up from time to time.
Yes.
We've got Helena Bonham Carter. All these cameos. Helena Bonham Carter, Jane Lynch, Dustin Hoffman, Gilbert Gottfried even has a little Affleck. He's there, and Daniel Handler, our author himself, also has a cameo.
Who was he in it? Do you remember who he was?
He's a photographer. He plays a photographer.
Oh, okay.
So it's just, I love it. We've got the whole. I love when a children's movie or a movie based on a children's book really delivers on the world that the book has created. It's the way that you imagine it in your mind. James and the Giant Peach, I think, really delivers on that. Did you ever see the film Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret?
No, I have not watched that.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, good.
Oh, it's so good. And it's like, I can't believe they went into my imagination and made the movie of that book for me.
I'm definitely going to watch it.
This is very much like that. I didn't, because again, having seen the trailer, is Meryl Streep even in the trailer? I'm not sure she is.
No, I don't think so. No.
There's a whole section, you guys, with Meryl Streep.
Yeah. And honestly, that part of the film was my favorite part. Visually, it was
beautiful.
It was so spectacular. Her house is on stilts above, on the side of a cliff.
On a cliff.
And you know what? Visually, it reminded me of a lot. Did you see the Popeye with Robin Williams?
Yes, it reminded me of that as well.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
Robert
and I
Altman's
love that
Popeye.
film. Yeah. So it's this rickety world with these bizarre characters, and I love that in the film the Meryl Streep character she's afraid of everything. She's mostly afraid of realtors, but she's afraid
panphobic.
Exactly. Panphobic, exactly. She is afraid of everything, and then she shows the kids her photo album, and she was a lion tamer, and she did all just all these amazing, courageous things throughout her life, and now she's this woman who's afraid of doorknobs. And
we also have this which barely gets touched on in the first book. We also have this storyline of the Guardians after Count Olaf. The Guardians all have something. It's not clear what the connection is between all of them, but the uncle who is the snake expert also lost his family in a fire.
Right.
And also has this telescope that the Baudelaire spyglass that the Baudelaire kids, their father had. And then the aunt that they go see, who's played by Meryl Streep, also has a spyglass, or her husband, who died under mysterious circumstances. He was investigating these various mysterious fires.
Yeah.
So there were more fires than just the one, many more fires than just the one that killed the Baudelaire parents. So there's this mystery that's building that never gets completely solved.
Which I think is, I thought that was interesting because so far in the first two books, I haven't seen anything about a spyglass. I could have missed it, but and then there's definitely a secret society happening that in the film where those dots are beginning to connect. And I think that now I'm definitely going to watch the TV series with Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
And I hear that
I'm very intrigued by it now.
I hear that the people who are big fans of the book love the TV series, and did not approve of the way that they did the movie. And they didn't like that. So the way that the story's told in the movie is they've taken the three stories and they split the first story, they tell that first story in the beginning and they finish it with the ending of the first story. And then they sandwich the other movie, 2 books in it. Yeah.
You're right. The movie kind of has the beginning of book 1, and then we go to book 2, book 3, and then the end of the movie is actually the end of book 1.
Yes.
With some other additional details worked
exactly.
in, which I think works as a film.
It worked for me.
Yeah. I get if you're
loved
like really devoted to the series that maybe you're not happy about that. But if you're just looking at the film as a film, right, and the way that they put that story together, it works so well.
I thought so.
We're building to that marriage moment.
Exactly. And also the breadcrumbs that they put in about the spyglass in the film, in the, the spyglass and the secret society and the way that they're all connected, but they really don't answer those questions. Yeah. I thought that was well done too, because in the books, they don't start in the first 3 books at least, or the first 2, the ones that I've read so far, they haven't started planting those breadcrumbs yet. So what I was going to say is, I think that they do tell that full story of those, the secret society and the spyglass and all that in the TV series. Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to play one more little clip.
Okay.
And then you can tell me what you think is better, the book or the movie.
Okay. Woo.
I know. It's a toughie. Let's see. Let's do. Yeah.
And, well, a lot of people don't know this about the molding, but you think, this can't be I mean, sure, it has a certain amount of strength, but how does it pull a man's face into a cave? Anyway, long story short, the bends, the reconstructive surgery. But, yes, from my understanding, Peru is a wonderful place. The beaches, the people, the relaxed guardianship laws.
Relaxed guardianship laws?
Did I say that? Darn neurotoxins.
Oh, Stefano, you have a wonderful gift for storytelling. Doesn't he, children?
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering if you wouldn't mind milking Petunia for me.
Petunia? Well, the milking, now see, could I just, yeah, sure, I'll take a shot at that. Now, they used to call me Old MacDonald up at the milking lab there because I'd milk these things all day long. But the little udders are hard to locate. Well, anyway, why don't you take that and go ahead and start the party without me. And I'm not sure I brought my milking gear. I'll take a gander.
So right where you cut out, that was a jump scare for me.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, there's like that, like literally when I was watching it, there's like a snake or whatever jumps at him, and I was like, ah!
I loved, I that whole part. It's such a great movie.
It is.
I cannot believe how I was watching it as I was traveling my last trip here, and as I said, I thought it was going to be a slog, and it was so delightful.
Yes.
I love Billy Connolly and Jim Carrey
Yes.
interacting together.
Meryl Streep and Jim Carrey. Yeah.
Wonderful. And the
Yeah.
children are perfect, you know.
Yes. The big
perfect
eyes.
straight
Yeah.
character, and just so expressive and I mean, no notes. I just thought it was awesome. Loved it.
Yep.
Loved it. So which did you prefer though, the book or the movie? Because you've read the first 3 books that this is based on. What do you
I've read the first 2. I'm definitely going to keep going.
Okay.
I love the series. They're quick reads, and they're funny. I'm gonna have to go with the movie. I'm gonna have to go with the movie. I love the movie.
I really loved it too. I mean, my only note. Oh no, I do have a note. More Catherine O'Hara. I do miss that we didn't get
100%. 100%.
But other than that,
if I had been a suit in those development meetings, I would have been like, more Catherine O'Hara. What are you guys doing?
What do you? Why is she
Where
here?
are those scenes? Yeah, yeah.
But I love like all the Billy Connolly stuff is just so touching and so wonderful, and then Meryl Streep.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
I love also, I forgot to mention the way that they had her hair, where it was just like all.
Oh my gosh, her hair was a poem. It was wonderful,
right? So the movie was like nominated for many Oscars, and the Oscar that it won was the makeup and hair. So
it was incredible makeup and hair.
Yeah,
it never looked makeup-y.
No, it really didn't.
Convincing, like, and
yes,
Jim Carrey, like you were like in his
that schnoz. Yeah, yes, you are. Great. You're in it. Literally, you're in the pores. Yeah, totally. Of the fake schnoz. Yeah.
So movie.
Well,
this was fun for Halloween.
Ma'am.
Can you tell the people where? I know you mentioned it at the top of the show, but because you have principles and you're not doing social media, where can people find you?
I think the best place to find me is on Substack at Lil Habit, LILHABIT.com. And then I also have a site. I'm in the process of redoing it, so it's not the best, but it's lilhabit.com. And I do link to my Substack from there. But yeah, that's the best place to find me.
Great. And you can find me everywhere at She's Nacho Mama. And I just wanted to mention, if you are just finding us because you love this book and movie, join us in our Facebook group. It's a very friendly, it's like the Justice Strauss's house of Facebook. Just saying. Very nice people.
Lovely.
Yeah. And you can also email us if you have suggestions, questions at bookversusmoviepodcast@gmail.com. Remembered it. And we'll be back soon with another new episode and another fun guest host. Thanks, everybody.
Yay.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Thanks so much for joining the conversation. The Book vs. Movie podcast was started in 2014 by friends Margo P. and Margo D., who lived on opposite coasts and wanted an excuse to stay in touch and read more. We sadly lost our good friend and co-host Margo D. in July of 2025. We celebrate her wit, friendship, and love of history as we continue on this digital road with you. Margo D.'s books, Filmed in Brooklyn and Fever, The Complete History of Saturday Night Fever, are available wherever fine books are sold. Follow Margo P. on social media at She's Not Your Mama, and you can email us at bookversusmoviepodcast@gmail.com. Now, if you'll excuse me, my IBS is acting up. Thanks for being here.